Hey, my name is John. I've been coming to iMove PT for about 6 months. Yeah, I think just like most people, of course, I did high school sports. I played football in college for a short stint. I also joined the military. I was a helicopter pilot. So 7 years of my life of physical fitness was just kind of part of the normal routine. And then I think, most people step into a professional work setting. Your fitness almost takes a back seat a little bit. And at some point I said, man, I've got to get back into it because I could feel myself kind of going down the path of living an unhealthy lifestyle. And I said, if I want to live a long life, of course, have to not only eat healthy, but also have a fitness routine that allows me to, keep sustained health. So in 2015, I had a bunch of friends that were doing this event called a Spartan race. They sent me a link and said, hey, they're gonna have a stadium race in Busch Stadium, and it's for hybrid athletes. So a little bit of running, also some obstacle courses. They're like, this should be right up your alley, former Army guy, you're gonna crush it, right? And I was like, man, this sounds like it'd be a fun thing to do, but I hadn't trained for something like that in years. So went to a CrossFit gym and said, okay, I'm gonna train to be a hybrid athlete. And I always index to one versus the other. So I would be really good at running and not so strong, or do a ton of lifting and didn't have any endurance. So that was really the kickstart of me being more of a hybrid athlete. So I did that race, fell in love with Spartan races, and progressively I've got more and more interested in doing competitive race. So ironically, 2024 was the first year that I said, okay, I'm gonna try a competitive race. And I did a competitive race and I got second to last in the competitive division. So a little embarrassing, but you gotta start from somewhere and increase the volume. So volume plus intensity is kind of the equation I was using to get better. And I noticed that I wasn't able to keep up with that level of workout. And it started to make me think, I've got to figure out a different algorithm if I want to be able to compete competitively in 2025. I think the shift for me was, I noticed that I couldn't do as many days in a row. So my mindset was there, and I said, man, I'm 100% committed to doing this. The training regimen that I had was really dialed in. I knew specifically what are the things that I need to work on to get better at the obstacle or to get better at the running. So I was really dialed in on what are the specific workout that I needed to do. But instead of me being able to work out 5-6 days in a row, I was only able to do 2 days. And then it was a day of recovery. And then I could do 2 days again, then a day of recovery. And if I did workouts that were longer, which is what I needed to be able to do, anything over an hour, I started to notice like a lot of fatigue in my calves. And when my calves start bothering me, then my hamstrings start bothering me. My hamstrings start bothering me and back start bothering me. So it started to snowball, and ultimately I was losing time on being able to consistently work out. So I had all the heart to get out there and work out, but it was just my body wasn't able to keep up with it. And I didn't feel like this was a problem I couldn't fix. I just wasn't using the right solution. So the obnoxiously ambitious goal is actually a reality. So to make it to the World Championships, I needed 2 top 25 finishes. So I was able to get that in the first quarter of the year. So now the training is, again, just working on volume and intensity, trying to get better at that. So it's been amazing to see myself potentially doing this one thing, and it was a dream that I kind of just put out in the universe just to make a goal, but being able to actually achieve it is pretty cool. So we'll see if I actually make podium. I don't know, but to be able to say I made it to World Championships feels pretty good.